Speaking of Kenny Bassett, Mark, he played a lot more last game as far as getting carries. Can you just talk about him a little bit and what he's meant to the program?
Kenny's awesome. He's one of those guys you just love to be around. He's always got a positive attitude. He works hard. That crew of tailbacks, when you take him, Ayele, Royce, Byron Marshall, I think all four of those guys the other day, the last kickoff coverage rep of the day, those guys were all sprinting down as scout team kickoff players. And that's not normal. I think that has become they've got a nice little chemistry there, work ethic wise, and Kenny's done a great job on kickoff team, being a huge, impactful guy. Sometimes making the play, sometimes not. He and Charles Nelson are kind of marked men when you look at the film, and just provides a great spark. Is kind of a soft-spoken guy, but a very passionate football player, and great guy to be around. Great teammate.
Aaron Fentress.
Coach, last year you guys had 70 tackles for loss over 13 games. This year you already have 54. Can you talk a little bit about the improvement there? Assuming you've recognized that.
I didn't know that stat. That's going. I couldn't tell you any stat. I don't think. That's obviously a part of the goal. And then there's been some times, obviously, where we've missed some of those tackles. There's been some ties in a three-man rush where we need to get a guy down, or keep him corralled, as we've done last couple of weeks with some of these quarterbacks that you're trying to kind of dictate the tempo of what they're able to do by how we rush it, and that's obviously the name of the game. Get it backed up, and third and long is really hard to convert.
Steve Mims.
Mark, you talk about kind of the changes that have been made so far, getting ready for the Friday game, just kind of what you had to change, and then kind of how the next couple of days go. Are you on a Wednesdays? Today your Wednesday? Are you still on a
Correct.
Tuesday, kind of where you're at?
Yeah, today's Wednesday. I'm so confused right now as to what day it is. Yeah, today's Wednesday. It's Wednesday from a football standpoint, and we'll try to keep it as normal as possible. Obviously, we lost a day up front. We kind of changed how we would do a normal Monday, both for the staff and the players on Sunday, and treated that as more of a mental day. We did some treatment, all that stuff, walked through a few things, and met a little bit longer. And then yesterday and today were very much as per usual for a Tuesday, Wednesday of a normal game. And then from here on out, we'll try to keep it as normal as possible. And there's obviously the variables of Friday night. It's a different stadium, all those things that you just try to stay as routine oriented as possible.
Tom Ward.
Back here, Mark. First of all, on a light note, you're getting mad love from Tokati on the hat the other day on social media. They're putting pictures up and everything like that. Seriously, Jared Goff and that offense, how do you kind of compare them to, like, say, Washington State, who you played earlier this year, which you obviously saw the 60-59 game?
Yeah. First of all, I've lost a lot of balls to Tokati, and I do love that place. But, yeah, it's there's elements of that. There's elements of Arizona. There's elements that they've got, a little bit more of a run game component to them than maybe those other two. Obviously, in the Washington State game, kickoff returns were unbelievable, and something that is a huge concern. They do a great job in special teams across the board. It's another big challenge for us. I think that's one place again where the Pac-12 has been amped up and ramped up even more, is the athleticism and the depth of special teams play. Jared Goff is playing at an extremely high level. He's got a great crew of receivers that he trusts a bunch, and they know what they're doing, and they dictate it.
Austin Meek, front left.
Mark, what have you heard about Levi Stadium, and is it useful to have a game there with the possibility that you could be back later in the season?
Well, we don't really think of it on the latter part of that. We've talked to all the guys in Philly just since they played there when they played San Francisco, and our guys will take two different types of cleats, as we would for the Rose Bowl or some other grass surface that our guys are not as accustomed to, and obviously our type of grass here is different than that turf, and so we'll get out there in pregame, get the right set of cleats on and go.
Rob Mosley,
Find out where the play clocks are. And
just a quick follow-up to that note. Will you walk through there Like you won't
We
stop
won't.
there.
That's another contributing factor of trying to. You try to balance keeping it routine and being unfamiliar. We've got so many young guys that they don't know the difference between their high school stadium and Jerry's world. And so we'll just go out and again, we literally find the play clocks, find the game clock, and go play.
And speaking of defending Goff, you've had a few different personnel units you've used in nickel over the first few weeks of the season. Do you feel like that's stabilized at all? How do you feel like your nickel and dime groups are going into this game?
We're developing some more depth at defensive back. There's a few more guys that have played more significant number of snaps as we've gone here, which is a good thing. And again, these guys are different. That's where they do a nice job of having a sneaky good run game to complement their passing game, which has always been great. And they do a really good job of balancing that threat or the appearance of that threat. And so you've got to be balanced in your attack defensively.
Jerry Allen in the back.
Coach, back here. Doug, we talked about AT&T. Doug Brender yesterday, when we mentioned playing down there, he kind of lit up like a kid looking to go to Disneyland. Did the players look at an opportunity like this as a little extra special? There's a little more excitement for them? I know it's all about the opponent, but the stadium's kind of got them excited.
Okay, first of all, is AT&T still the baseball field?
AT&T Park, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's not where we're playing, Jerry.
I got it back. Yeah, you're not playing at AT&T, are you?
I was very confused. My Giants, is game one tonight? Yeah.
Go Royals.
No, I know. I've got a problem. Jeremy Guthrie, good Oregonian. He's a friend of the program. If he's not pitching, the Giants have to win. I'm sure they'll be excited. That element is there. It's a brand new, highest technologically advanced stadium in history, or whatever they're touting. I'm sure that element will be there. But then again, that's where you have to go into Hoosiers mode, and it's a 100-yard field, and blah blah blah, and let's go play.
Jake Zivin in the back.
Mark, have you seen a significant improvement in Jared Goff now that he's not a true freshman and he's been on a college campus for more than a month or two?
Right. I think he's a lot better, and I think the people around him are playing a lot better. There's a lot more. Just the timing is there. His rhythm is there. His confidence is there. The front is playing really well. Their tailbacks again are providing a bunch of balance, and so it's an all-on assault in every phase from an offensive standpoint. Their screen game is good. They mix formations well. They move tackles over, unbalanced. All those things and make you again. You have to be on your A game.
Molly Blue in the back.
Mark, you say you spoke to Philadelphia. Did you mean the Eagles? And
I did.
Did you speak to Chip Kelly? And what kind of feedback did you get about the venue?
I didn't talk to him about that. No. It was more. I don't know who we talked to exactly. It was I've texted a couple of those guys and just about. It's very, very exciting stuff. Logistics and cleats and their equipment guy and our equipment guy.
And just 2 pair of shoes. These guys can't bring more.
Then we have to pack light. Saves fuel.
Steve Mims in the middle.
Mark, Hamani's a guy who's so old he played for Mike Bellotti here. When you look at a guy who now on this line
for Kaz, he signed with Kaz, went on his mission.
The way the line is, just kind of a guy who's been around and been through it. He's played some different positions, right guard, center, and just kind of what he's met with this line this year and kind of keeping it together at tough times.
Yeah, he's a great teammate. He does have kind of that. He and Hronis kind of both have that kind of, I don't know, I was going to say elder statesman, but maybe big brother kind of aura about them. Great guys, great teammates. Hamani, which is ironic, but he's kind of the team barber. He has the worst hair on the team, or maybe I'm just jealous of his giant hair. But yeah, he's again, just a great teammate, guy that works hard. He's gotten better in that regard over the last couple of years as far as in training and finishing a little bit better. And his top end is still out there. That's what's encouraging as well. And he's chasing it.
Molly, go ahead. Tyson in the front.
With a new coordinator and is this better? All right. With a new coordinator and the fact that last year's game was just like a monsoon, are you guys able to gather much from that tape, and just compared to other teams that you guys have played? I mean, how prepared, just tape wise, are you guys?
Yeah, not offensively. From our offense to their zero. I mean, that the coordinator's different. The personnel at the time, they had a bunch of guys dinged up and some different guys that aren't there. This unit is playing fast and furious. Had a couple very unfortunate things that happened in the Washington game. A couple big plays, but they did a pretty good job. I think Washington finished with whatever it was, low 300s, and they're playing with confidence within their system. They do a great job within it. We've been, we studied it in the off season, obviously, given it this is a new coordinator, as we do everybody, but a new coordinator would do a little bit more. Our defense to their offense, there's a little bit more carryover, but again, that was last year was bizarre. The conditions, I've never seen anything like that in the state of Oregon or anywhere else for that matter, ever. And then special teams are similar, but again, there's some different principles.
Molly in the back.
I spoke to Bronson Yim earlier, and we talked about scout team and his role in the scout team, and he earned recognition last week. Can you tell me what he did and how you decide who gets singled out in that way?
Well, yeah, defensively, Bronson's done a nice job. He's another one of those guys, I think, just is a consummate teammate, just a great, guy that guys love to be around, works hard, does the dirty work of whatever it is, whether it's the punt, the punt team, punt return team, kickoff return team during the week. Those guys are invaluable. I mean, they're worth their weight in whatever the most precious metal is. They're worth it. And then he, in particular, that kind of our defensive graduate assistants, our offensive graduate assistants, and then Tom Osborne, our special teams coach, always recognize one or more of those people, each week, every week. And we do that, win or lose. We have players of the game on offense, defense, special teams when we win, but we recognize those guys all the time. And Bronson in particular just did a good job last week. There were some unique things to Washington's looks that he did a nice job with.
I also asked him about his career interception mark, and he says that no interceptions as a Duck in a game. But even going back to high school, he cannot count the number of times he has intercepted Marcus Mariota. Do you happen to have a number?
And he likes to point that out a lot. It's a lot. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot. He's got a knack. If it's tipped or something funky, it always ends up in his hands, and he lets Marcus know about it.
Jake Zivin in the back.
Mark. Doug Brenner played significant minutes, important minutes against Washington at guard, and then came in at center later. Can you talk a little bit about his versatility on the line, and also how important this playing time is for him moving forward into his career?
Big. He did a nice job against UCLA as well. He went in for several plays in the UCLA game and came off the ball, moved some guys, and did a great job. And then, like you said, the Washington game, played a couple different positions, had the holding penalty, which was silly. I mean, it was it's just kind of almost a confidence deal of, okay, I'm here. Oh my gosh, I'm here. What do I do? And just instead of just knifing through the guy and finishing the block, and we walk in the end zone. But that more than anything is just that, hey, this is okay. I can, go full speed and finish and do my deal. He's another just unbelievable guy to be around. Great, just a great guy to go to work with every day, and his future is really bright.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks.